Well, we all guessed it right. There are even more changes to the patch notes and pretty big ones. Deadeye, yeah. There are changes. Surely it has to be the last one, right? Today's the day. Today's the big launch. I don't know if they're going to release more. But if they do, we're going to be over on Twitch at twitch.tv/scorpius_ent. Yeah, I think this is going to be my last update video. As I said, I'm going to release another video later on today to let you guys know what kind of build I'm going to be playing, what class I'm going to be playing, and what cool stuff we're going to do over the weekend over on the stream. But anyway, enough said about that. Let's go and check today's changes. So obviously I have my nice little file here, everything organized and colored and all that for the 29th, which is today, which is literally launch day. The first one is kind of big. Player evasion now works on all hits except boss skills that have a red flash. So every single other hit can be evaded apart from the big ultimate boss skills, which literally means that we now have by default the acrobatic keystone, which we're going to see what's going to happen with that in a second. Then we have the evasion formula, however, has been adjusted to lower the percentage of hits that will be evaded by a given amount of evasion. Next, a couple of monster and minion changes. So monsters have 30% more stun buildup against players who have their shield raised, and 12% more stun buildup versus players who are parrying. And lastly, here on the player changes, we've got minions now deal 3% more damage with hits and ailments against non-unique monsters at skill level 3, scaling to 50% more damage with hits and ailments against non-unique monsters by skill level 8. So this is a very significant damage difference and damage buff to minions. Obviously, they kind of break the spirit reservation thing and the efficiency and all that, and a lot of people don't like it, but they did buff the damage pretty significantly here. So let me know what you guys think about this, all the minion mains out there. Next, we have the unique item changes. The Hyries Eerie unique body armor now has evasion rating doubled if you have not been hit recently. Previously used to be can evade all hits if you have not been hit recently. Well, this won't matter anymore because now by default you're evading all hits. So this is going to be a really good unique body armor to use with evasion as well. It's going to be doubled. It's going to be insane. And here's the big and here's the big thing. Acrobatic has been now removed from the tree because we have it by default. But anyway, we're going to the ascendancy changes here, and the first one is Pathfinder, a little bit of a buff, I believe, if I read that correctly. So let's see. Poisonous concoction, obviously we know it's called now acidic concoction. The concoction consumes charges from your mana flask to throw a flask that explodes, dealing physical damage in the area. The thrown flask consumes poison on hit to cause an acidic burst, which deals damage based on the highest expected remaining damage of poison on the target. Acidic concoction and acidic burst, however, cannot poison. Acidic burst causes life loss equal to 150% of the expected remaining damage of the consumed poison and has 30% more area of effect per poison affecting the enemy. I think this is going to be a pretty significant change to poisonous concoction, but once again, let me know what you guys think about it. I know a few of you said you're going to main something with poison, maybe poisonous concoction. Let me know what you guys think if you're going Pathfinder. And here's the big one. Deadeye has been officially nerfed even more. The thrilling chase notable passive skill now has benefits from consuming frenzy charges for your skills, have 50% chance to be doubled. Used to be 100% chance of being doubled, now it's 50. And then yeah, the elephant in the room for this patch note change is that they went from 20 stacks of critical weakness to 10 stacks of critical weakness to now 5 stacks of critical weakness. Well, there we go. That's the big one. Anyway, we have a few more to cover. We've got the gem changes. Twister has been actually buffed. Now deals 80 to 232% attack damage. Used to be 72 to 190%. So that's a nice little buff right there for Twister. Cold Snap keeps getting reworked, by the way, and changed with its numbers. So now, if you remember, they initially told us that Snap, which used to be Cold Snap, would work on orbs as well. Then yesterday they said it won't work on orbs as well. And now they added that it's going to actually work on Frozen, Shocked, Ignited, or on Frostbolt. Then it actually got its cold damage nerfed. The lightning and the fire are going to remain the same, but this is what it's going to be now, and this is what it used to be before. So it's a pretty significant damage difference here that they nerfed on the cold damage of Snap. Then we have quality now grants 0 to 10% chance to spawn an additional remnant. Previously, it was a completely different thing. Previously, it used to be 0 to 20% chance to not consume freeze. Now that doesn't matter anymore. Now it's going to be 0 to 10% chance to spawn an additional remnant. It's gonna give us more chance to maintain our remnants. Then we have cold explosion, now deals 50% more damage against unique enemies. We know that. But another addition that they added is that now it has 4 seconds cooldown. So that's the Snap changes. I don't know if these are going to be the only ones until release, but that's that. Next, we've got Incinerate keeps getting changed a lot here, so I'm not going to read through the whole thing. So we know the cone length is now 5.8 meters from 4.6. The maximum stages used to be 8, now they're 12. It no longer creates burning grounds. We know that as well. You need to have a fire infusion in order for you to create that. The ignited ground radius is now 1.4 meters from 0.8. Then the minimum gem level is now at level 9 instead of level 5. We knew all of that. Beam now, however, has 50% less ignite duration. Used to be 25, which is a massive nerf for the ignite duration there, and deals 30% more damage per stage. Previously used to be 40% more damage per stage. Then Beam now ignites as though dealing 80 to 414 to 120 to 622. So Beam's Ignite is going to deal more damage, but it's going to have less duration on that. And of course, we know that from yesterday, it's going to inflict 80% less flammability magnitude. Then last but not least, they actually made some changes on Orb of Storms, and I don't know how I feel about these changes. So now Orb of Storms is going to be triggered from casting any spell in its radius. Previously used to be only lightning spells, and it was incorrectly described. So now they're going to correctly describe it. It now creates a lightning infusion remnant if all of its bolts are used up or its duration expires. Then it now has a maximum of 6 bolts at all gem levels. Used to be 12 to 29. So this is a massive downgrade on how many bolts it's actually going to be using during its entire duration from all gem levels. It now has a base radius of 3.6 meters, so they increase the radius. I don't know if that's gonna balance this out. And then this is orange because scaling up to 14 to 260 damage now. It used to be 63 to 190. So yeah, sure, they increased the higher end by 70, but also the lower end used to be so much higher. And lastly, now it fires a bolt every 4 seconds. And when you use a lightning skill near an orb, it used to be previously every 3.4 to 2.55. So now it made it less frequent. And then orb duration is now 12 seconds instead of 10. But that's basically it. These are all the changes that they actually implemented today. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Deadeye keeps getting nerfed. I'm not sure if they're gonna release even more patch note changes. Today's the last day and then it's the release, and they keep saying that they'll never do any nerfs during the leagues, so I doubt they're going to do anything once it's released. So if they're going to do anything else, it has to be before that. If they do, we're going to see it on stream tonight, so make sure that you join us over there as well. We're going to have some giveaways, we're going to have some fun stuff over the weekend, but that's basically it. Let me know what you guys think about it, and as always, I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.